hello, and welcome to the Heart, Mind, and Voice Show. Hello, HMB fam. Hello,
Hello,
crew.
hello, hello.
Hello.
Tonight. So excited to be on tonight. We got a fun-filled show. We missed you guys last week. We were
Yeah.
not able to come on because I think there were some remnants of some other stuff going on. So it prevented us from coming on and showing out and healing some hearts and renewing the mind all through the power of transparency. And tonight we have our favorite special co-host of the century, King John the Realist. How are you
Uh-oh.
tonight?
Uh-oh. Fantastic. All right.
So happy for you to be here tonight. We're so
Thank
happy
you.
to be here tonight. We have our lovely Miss Sirius K. How are you?
Hello, everybody.
You're looking also gorgeous. And we have our marvelous Queen A. How are you, darling?
And Coach Shalonda,
Yes, I am in the building.
co-host birthday tonight, y'all.
Yes.
Yes, I promise. I
Happy
don't-
birthday, Coach Shalonda.
Thank you all. Yes.
Let me sing.
Aw, how sweet is that, producer?
Let me sing, y'all. I'm gonna sing happy birthday.
Yes.
Okay,
I have
come
to
on.
put it up here. I'm gonna have to go on mute. I don't have COVID. Let me put that out there.
I should go a lot because I can't sing. What's the other version?
We gotta do the
Happy
Stevie Wonder version.
birthday
The Stevie Wonder version.
yeah. Happy birthday
birthday.
to ya.
We gotta do
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Look,
Thank
don't you
all.
can't leave me hanging, Queen A. I'm sounding like
Come on, start
a
over,
wounded
start
whale.
Let's start over. Come on, start over.
That's all right. Don't worry about
No,
it.
no, Sean, we got this. We got this. Come on, ready? Ready?
Oh God.
Happy birthday to
To
ya.
ya.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday.
Oh, God.
Happy birthday.
And
Done. Done.
I don't know nothing.
Really, John? It's all about me. Come on. What? It's like we can always praise ourselves.
And
Yes,
Donna just
that's
sitting
right,
there
y'all.
like,
It's my birthday. I'm so happy.
It's all right. Yeah, happy birthday.
Hey, I'm so happy that it's my birthday today. I'm happy to see another year. With so much that's going on, you don't know if you're gonna wake up after a nap. So
Yeah.
we're so grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here amongst the living and good health and strength, despite of anything that tries to come against it. I am happy to be here. It is my 47th birthday, although I look 27. Yes.
okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You know what? We always got to hear something. He always got something to say. But anyway, I'm happy to be 47. I look forward to many, many more birthdays, fun filled. All devils are cast back to the pits of hell. Now, moving on, let's get on with the show. How was everybody's week? Oh, wait a minute, HMB fam. We got some stories to tell before we get started. Yes, we do. Yes.
Oh,
Wait
Lord.
a minute, was it Queen A and Sirius K that had a story to tell? Or it was Queen A twice. Was it
Queen A.
Yeah.
But- okay, we're gonna give the floor to Queen A because this is a true story. Hashtag true story. Now tell us what happened, Queen A. And we don't want you to miss. We don't want you to sum it up. We want every detail.
Well, for one, happy Loves Week. All year is love. I just want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. I have my little I tried to make it a headpiece, but it didn't work out. So wishing everybody lots of love, lots of fabulousness, lots of happiness and joy this month and for the whole year. But I had so many embarrassing moments. We gotta have a show to talk about this embarrassing moments because I had embarrassing moments from butt pads to like drinking.
Goodness.
I can tell that story, but I'm gonna just say this: something happened in the toilet. I just, but this past so Coach Londa always warned me to put on clothes, right? People who know me that I like to walk around with no clothes or whatever. So my neighbors outside, my neighbors next door, their side house is no lights or anything like that. I mean, I'm sorry, no windows. So they can't necessarily see what I'm doing. So I happen to walk out in the morning to put trash in the garbage can, but I had on just a top and nothing below. So I went outside and I closed my patio because I wanted to, make sure, no bugs come in or whatever. So I closed my patio and it got stuck and it got jammed. So I'm outside 15 minutes trying to get it, unstuck and everything. And I had to go back into work and everything because I work from home. So long story short, I had to walk to the neighbors next door with nothing below or
So sad, y'all.
Don loving it. He like it.
That's what she get for always bothering me.
That's
Good.
right.
Yes. So
Right.
sad.
Let me tell you, it was so embarrassing. First of all, I literally felt like I wanted to cry because I'm like, how am I? And I was outside for the longest trying to get the patio door open, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't have my phone or anything like that, so I had to walk next door. People seeing me outside and everything, and I just knocked on the door. Can you imagine the look on her face when she saw me? Thank God it was the woman and not her husband who answered the door, but she told her husband to stay upstairs. And then her son had to come. I did call the landlords of the house where I live, the property managers or whatever. And, I tried to get someone to come out, but they couldn't come out on time to, let me in. So the guy next door, her son, my neighbor's son, ended up, he was able to get the door pried open. But the fact that, we were standing there and he's trying to pry the door open and just watch, like, he's just like, okay, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I'm trying not to look. So that taught me a valuable lesson. Do not go outside with no clothes on.
God help us all.
So now when you say you didn't have no clothes on, right? What you had on?
Don't even
No,
ask.
you had on a t-shirt or nothing under it? What? I mean,
Don't ask. I was just. It was just a towel.
okay.
So sad. Her Don the realist just and I have told her time and time again, you never know what may happen. You are a single young lady.
Yep.
Single lady, I ain't gonna say young lady, but single lady. Don't be trying to bust up out of here all free and stuff.
You're lucky it didn't end up on social media because everybody got camera phones.
Everybody's trying to do a TikTok.
Thank God. And look, and today earlier, I almost went outside to run to my car and I didn't feel like putting on no pants. And I was getting ready to run outside. And I remembered, I'm like, okay, don't do it.
I give up.
Lord.
I
But
give up.
thank God, it's a kind of like more of an older community, like older people around where the block where I live.
They perverts too.
Yeah, that is true.
They the worst ones.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, Don the realist. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Second story, y'all.
And that's nothing to do with me, but I'm just saying how people are like literally just praying for people's minds, y'all. I was talking to that I'm the type of person that talk to everybody, and I don't gossip in terms of like telling people business, but I like to hear it. So right next in back of my house, someone's house burned down. So I didn't know the whole story, and I ended up, meeting a few people on the block and everything, and we were talking. And come to find out, it was a woman. I hate to say it because she was one of us. I wish she wasn't.
Wait, I wish we could tell the producer to get that waiting to exhale picture. Remember
Oh,
that?
see, right? Oh, yeah. So, I live in a predominantly like Caucasian white area, but it was one of us, which I hate to say. And so she was living in like a rent-to-own house. And she was upset because I guess like she tried to purchase the house and didn't go through. She felt like she had money invested, and she got upset. She got up in the middle of the night and she packed her stuff, came back, and she lit the house on fire.
So she going to jail.
Producer, if you can find that Angela Bassett.
So she going to jail. She going to jail.
It was like, what was in your mind? Like, you don't even know what's in people's mind to do something. Like, why would you come? Like, and then it's premeditated. They're gonna say it's premeditated because she left and came back in the middle. Like, she planned it. She planned for it to happen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In there.
She's going to jail.
Yeah.
See, she should have did that in New York because nobody in New York go to jail anymore. So she would have got away with it.
Okay, is there like a low key shot?
Yep. That's why I'm getting out.
But you know, we in Georgia, so that's a whole.
Oh yeah. She might get the electric chair.
She was
Okay.
You better do that.
That was her right there.
She was brazen. She like what?
Girl,
Okay, I can't buy it. Ain't nobody gonna buy this.
that is not your that is not your house.
That's exactly what she was saying. She was like, "Oh, ain't nobody moving up in here."
Ain't nobody gonna move up in this. That's really.
People
HFP
gotta
fam, do not
understand.
try this at home. But that's horrible. That is horrible.
She's gonna get 20 years to think about what she did.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
But you know what I don't know where she had gone to, but they probably can't find her. I mean, I don't know. But the thing about it, she told them, like, she got upset about it, and she made some. I don't know the whole story, but supposedly from my neighbors, like her neighbors,
allegedly.
Allegedly is that she said that she was going to do it. So, and literally it happened.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to tell her to go to Mexico. I'm not trying to tell her to go to Canada. I'm not trying to tell her to go to London. I'm not trying to tell her these things.
I'm pretty sure she's on the run. I'm pretty sure she's on the run.
She
Well,
should be.
She may be bold and don't even care.
I was just gonna say she might just be walking around like I
Like,
wish that.
I
But at least if she go to jail, she got someplace to live now.
You know what?
Get started.
Yeah, she got free food, right? Free food.
Yep.
I know.
Canadian taxes gonna go up now. You gotta feed her.
That is, that's horrible. It's sad. I mean, these are two true stories. The first one is funny. Hey, Chippy fam, the moral to her story, Queen A's story, please don't be walking around free because you just never know, or go outside talking about you're going to do something and shut the door behind you. You just never know what may jam up that door. So put the clothes on. Do not be.
I literally want to cry, y'all. Like, I literally want to cry.
And the moral to the burn up the house if you're not going to let me buy it story, that we're not trying to tell you to go to Mexico. We're not trying to tell you to run to another country. We're just saying, just be careful. Anyway, let's move on, y'all. Notice the disclaimer. I never said don't do it. No. Don't do it. That's wrong. That wasn't meant for her. So there was another blessing somewhere for her. And she just, Lisa in the comments, she just laughed.
Oh, Lisa, like, I laughing. She's like, look, this was my blessing. It ain't gonna be nobody else's blessing.
Right. So, but you just have to maintain self-control. Mexico. Okay, so y'all, this is black. This is like this month right here is the business. February is always the best month in the year, not just because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
It is the best month in the year also because it represents our culture all over the universe. All of the things that we have done, all of the things we've created, all of the things we've ignited, infused, discovered, freed, everything. So we are going to take a moment and we are going to shine light on some Black history excellence, y'all. Now, this is way back. I'm talking way back. And each Saturday, I think we have two more left. We have 2 more, but we definitely want to give shout out to our Black history leaders, our Black history trendsetters, our Black history, the ones that have opened the doors for us today, our ancestors and those who discovered, who put the work in. And now, even the Bible talks about how the generations will get wiser, yet weaker. And we know what it meant. Shalonda did not say this. This is philosophy. This is from the book. So get mad at the book. Not at philosophy. But the generation, and they are, there are kids are becoming doctors now at such young ages, and they're going to colleges, and just amazing um, ages. And so it's so to me it's so invigorating when I study Black history, when people tell me about things that I did not know. And I mean, Black history is being discovered every single day. So not just way back, but even us today are making Black history when we're becoming the first well-known this, well-known that, the first person to discover this, the first Black man to go up into space, or to do this, or to own this, or to become this particular billionaire. Because yeah, we had some first time billionaires, but these people are making some serious
Yeah.
history. So the opportunity is there to make everything that involves creation is already within us. It's just us that needs to take out the time. We need to take out the time to discover, to become aware of what is that magic. I don't want to say magic. What is that creation, or what is that idea, whatever it is that God has put us? What is it that God has put in us to change?
Yes.
Change in this world, because that's what history is. It's a change gamer. It ignites change. When we understand our history, where we come, no, we don't stay there. The history is for us to become aware of, this is how it was.
Mhm.
Now this is how it shall be and how it can be. So I just want to give all praises and honor to the Most High God. We praise the Lord on this show. God, for just blessing us with purpose and vision, because these are vision makers, and vision makers are still being created today. Isn't that right, Don the Realist? Why you looking serious like?
Nope. That's a good. I'm just listening to you. You sounding real good over there. Go ahead.
I want to say really quick, Jay-Z, he said something recently, and I love what he said. And he said, they talked about his status and being a billionaire. And he said, what I would love more is not that is one Black billionaire, but is thousands of Black millionaires. So
Wow.
yeah, it was very powerful that he made that statement. And so when you think about Black History Month, it's like so many of us, so many. I'm sorry, I had the text from somebody talked about the show. They laughed at what happened. Hi. She was on a show previous, right?
Yes. Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We all miss you, and Lisa, we all miss you. But so I love that statement, because it just goes to show how many of us, Blacks, is that we really need to come up and and look to seek how can we become, invent and create and become, millionaires. So it just gotta, like you said, Coach Lana, starts with a vision and working your way, knowing your purpose, knowing your vision, and working towards it.
Yeah. When I was talking y'all, because y'all know I get so caught up in talking, did I say change gamer or game changer?
We know what you meant. Game.
Okay. Y'all could have stopped me and said, yeah, girl, game changer. Did I say change gamer? What did I say? Serious
We knew what you meant. We knew.
So you all good. It was good.
It's good.
You even caught that until
Hey, look, we live. Anything can happen on the show. Y'all stay tuned.
Time out. Okay, let's recognize Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. Is there a picture up? Produce, did we put a picture up? Did I talk about?
Yeah, we put it up.
Okay. Going out.
It's all good, girl. It's your birthday. You get excuses.
She over there sipping something. That's what's going on.
She's sipping something.
Let me put the picture back up. Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. Dr. Crumpler was the first African American woman to earn a medical degree in 1864. She devoted her life to improving health in the Black community through research and working in clinics. When the Civil War ended, Civil War, y'all. She dedicated her career to helping newly freed blacks in the South by providing them medical care. And can you imagine? Just think that's a legacy. She left a legacy. So it's so amazing when you do meet people that, and I'm sure we are all relatives. We just don't know, we got to study that. What is it called? The ancestry tree?
Yeah.
You got to study and see, because a lot of us are attached to some legacy makers, some legacy builders, some legends, so people that have created some things, that have made a change, in this world. And just think about her generations after generations after generations, because a lot of times that's inspiration for others. And I don't want to bring up her name. I'm not going to give her but just know that I know of one person in particular that when she realized that, I think it was her grandfather that was a civil rights leader. She was like known or whatever, but she is known. But it inspired her to want to, also fight. I believe when George Floyd, when he got, murdered by the cop. Remember, she was marching. Remember, they was doing all the protesting and marching, and she, said she was doing it because she was inspired by her grandfather, who was a civil rights leader. And so that inspired her to want to do, to want to protest and want to march and want to fight for what was right, for us as African Americans. So, and what was right just in general for society. So, a lot of times that spirit leads on to generations after generations after generations. Just like that young lady that's a huge activist. What is her name? Tamika Mallory, I believe that's her name. Beautiful young lady.
Tamika Mallory.
Yes, honey. It's so many, young and of age, older, that are truly still standing. And and you have to be bold, and you got to have a love for your people to really be out there fighting, because they take a lot behind the scenes that we know not of, and some things that we don't even want to put up with it in our own home. Forget about somebody else and other people's homes. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler and all of her generations thereafter. We are truly appreciative and thankful, because there are so many Black doctors that have come after her, and they are doing absolutely fabulous. I have a Black medical doctor right now today, and I love her. She gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love her. So shout out to Dr. Williams in Irving, Texas. That's right. Hello. She's doing it, y'all. She's doing it. But anyway, let's move on, y'all. Let's get into the show tonight. Are y'all ready to get some chicken?
We ready.
You ready?
Y'all ready? Let's start off talking about Wendy Williams, y'all. This bank lawsuit. First of all, I ain't gonna talk about Wells Fargo.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
Just know, I'm gonna tell all y'all out there, HMB fam, Wells Fargo. Now,
some shady stuff.
I have researched, if somebody finds some research out in the comments, if y'all find some research where it is legal for banks to seize your bank account if you are mentally ill, as they are trying to say Wendy Williams is, like she's not mentally stable and capable of handling her money. I want to see where they have the legal right to freeze your money until they release it, until they want to release it. I want somebody to find. I haven't found it yet. Now I found reasons that they have the right, they can seize it, but mental illness is not one of them.
Right.
It is not one of them.
You know what, Shalonda, what they doing? The lady that said that she's not stable used to work for Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
Her name is Lori something other, Charlotte Chilla, whatever her name is. With that type of name, she's Caucasian. Okay, so now they're gonna take her word, allegedly. They're gonna take her word over Wendy Williams, all because she had different mishaps. Because Wendy Williams fired her because she was doing some of Wendy Williams' money she shouldn't have. Now, what that bank you just mentioned, I know I'm supposed to call a name, the piggy bank. If what they should have done was look for guardianship, which is Wendy Williams' parents, and maybe her son if he's of age.
Right.
or her attorney. What they doing is definitely illegal.
Yeah, they're trying to establish guardianship, and I'm like,
Exactly.
how can they do that?
But the
Exactly.
thing is, though, if they froze her account, right? Okay, you say that she is not stable. She's
That's
telling
what they
these
say.
idiots that she need to make payroll. So the
Right.
people that work for her need to get their money.
Right.
But when I read the story, what they said was that they said they wanted to see what was like her normal payroll, her normal, but I guess she was asking for something more. But they said they okay with paying out payroll, water bill, whatever, but supposedly it was something more, and she wanted her son to be able to access it. So
And then they said they told her that if she had a notarized power of attorney letter, a power of attorney, that they would overturn her funds. Well, she did all that, but they said that there was no person established on the form, like there was nobody's name on the form, or they couldn't establish power of attorney based on the form that she sent in. So they really trying to fight this lady tooth and nail over her own money.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all, this reminds me. I saw a video, and I don't know if y'all saw it on social media. There was this Black girl, and I think I don't know what bank it was at, but anyway, she made a deposit, right? And you know, if your account is negative, that money is gonna go towards your negative balance.
Oh, I seen that one.
They took her money. She jumped over.
She climbed over the thing. Yeah, she go to jail too.
Back there behind
She go
the
to jail
teller
too.
and opened the thing register
Mexico.
and got the money. Like, give me my effing money.
And walked out.
And
Yeah, I
walked
seen
out.
it.
Wow.
So
Don't give people money, y'all.
find a cousin,
Listen,
one of her
let me-
Jersey cousins.
Let me tell you, these banks are crazy because one of the banks that I deal with, if you don't do any physical transactions in the bank in a 3-month period, they close your account. They lock it, thinking that you dead.
My
Yeah.
credit union will do
I have
that.
no
So,
problem with my
if-
bank.
When I do stuff, electronically and online, that don't count. I got to physically walk in there and make a transaction within a 3-month period so they can know I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of my banks. Yeah, they're idiots, all of them.
I have no
Well,
problem.
I've dealt with Wells Fargo before, and Wells Fargo, first of all, they had a lot of issues in the past. They've been sued several times, had
They're racist.
with mortgage and you don't know. And they have a lot of stuff going on. I have heard stories from other people concerning Wells Fargo, but what I would say is that in my experience, just my personal experience when I dealt with them before, was that if you have to know how to really balance your accounts, like be on top of your game when it comes to balancing your accounts, because you can have a bunch of stuff come out of your account and they would not put like the check and everything came out, but the money still looked like it's there. So 2 weeks later, you're thinking that the money is there and it's not there. So you could have spent it somehow, and next thing you know, you have a total negative balance, and then they charge you overdraft fees. So so you really got to be very mindful of making sure that you balance it very, very good, budgeting very well, because they don't account for certain things. So
They don't.
and they actually had, you know what? They had a notification I heard recently too. Someone was telling me about it, that they were talking about people complaining about an incident like that was happening. And they said that it was some issue with the system and they working it out. But that's just Wells Fargo, y'all. They shady. They do shady stuff.
Look, y'all.
Woo.
JP Morgan Chase. That's all I can say.
Oh, I love Chase.
Good bank. Excellent bank. Been with them for years. Never had a problem. They may have had problems with me, but never had a problem with them. Never had a problem with them. Ever had a problem with them. I told you I had a problem with one big bank. I'm talking of America. Big bank. And it was an era. It was $800 and some $1,000 deposit. Hashtag true story deposited in my account. $800 and something $1,000 deposited into my account. They
You go to shopping spree?
remember that.
I told them, I remember I was in the process, I was in the middle of moving, and I think I had got paid that weekend or that Friday or something. And I couldn't, the money was there, and it was there. And they were telling me that I made a deposit. you think I'll be in here going back and forth if I made a deposit of 800? You think I'll go back and forth? You telling you, oh, there's an error. I don't have that much money in the bank. No, probably that $8.82, but that's but no, it was 800 and some $1,000. So I'm like, no, them little three on the end. dot. So I said no, and so we went back and forth for a while that day, and then they shut my account down for 2 weeks because they had to figure out who that money belonged to.
I would have took if they wouldn't own up to it. I would have took every dime.
I always felt like it was an inside job, and I was just.
It's not you didn't do it. If they saying that they didn't make a mistake,
right? Because they were so adamant about saying I made the deposit.
Good, thank you. Give my money.
I'm in here arguing with you guys if I made the deposit. Like,
cool.
It doesn't even make sense. They don't even crazy. Forget about it. That don't even sound crazy. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm like, some banks are, of course, a lot of people are like, that's a major bank. Well, of course, it's like 3 major banks. I don't know how Wells Fargo become one. Then, you have the Chase and then the other one. Y'all know who they are. But the Wells Fargo issue, somebody, I wish someone could find research that banks have the legal right to seize your account if there's a mental.
But supposedly she had signed something from the beginning.
Yeah.
With them, so allegedly that's what they were saying, that she had signed something from the beginning.
Yeah, and the one the advisor that's over her account is used to work for her, right? The white lady, as you said,
Lori.
Right. So she understands now, but she does have a lawsuit. I don't know how much it is, but that would be a suit to where you will feel it, to where I probably will own half of it. Okay, once we're done.
It goes to show that how like sometimes how we overlook stuff that when it comes to like your money. And especially you have large sums of money, you're a celebrity or whatever, it's like always going back and checking your accounts. Like, because my experience, like say with Wells Fargo in the past, whatever, like I'm always like every month I'm checking my accounts. I'm like, wait, I notice every little thing. I'm good with balancing and checking, like, because I it's like stuff come out your account and you don't even know. Or if you sign some type of waiver or whatever in the beginning, always go back to make sure that's still in standing. Even when it comes to life insurance, when it comes to beneficiaries and all of that, always go back to make sure, do I still want to keep this person on my, as my beneficiary or whatever? So you always got to make sure you're going back and checking stuff over and making sure that, it's up to date.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned about beneficiary, and it's funny we talking about this right now. Today, earlier, me and my wife went to the bank because I found out that even though she's, I got my will set up. My will is already done. And y'all 3 speaking at my service too. I forgot to tell you. But even if I passed away, she cannot take my money. Even if it's on the will, I would have to make her the beneficiary of my private account.
Yeah.
So we went to the bank. I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine passed away, a pastor that I know, and his wife told me that. She called me and told me she can't touch his money because she's not a beneficiary. So she had to get a lawyer and everything.
Wow.
So I went into the bank today and put Darlene down as my beneficiary. If something was to happen, she have access to the money.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And they say it's in the forms that they give you.
It is.
I'm looking at this guy. It's 42 pages. Who reading this?
Yeah, exactly.
You tell me what a sign I sign. And that's it.
And see, that's why we always need to go. And then sometimes
you have to read. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
but nobody reads that. I didn't read it.
I did.
It's like you trust what people say, but it does pay to take time to, eventually to take time to read it. And to go back to make sure, like to me every year reviewing stuff. Every month when it comes to banking and everything, but every year when it comes to like life insurance and investments and a state of property, whatever it's called, property. I don't know. You know what I'm talking
about. Right. Yeah, your estate. Yeah.
Right.
So, but we just our heart goes out to Wendy Williams, and she's something else too. But
She
right?
fights, so she gonna be all right.
Yeah,
She gonna be all right. When she finished with them, they're gonna be lucky if they got 2 customers.
He said too.
Oh, she gonna light them up. She gonna tear them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They found the right one.
Yes, they did.
And I really feel sorry for her advisor. Ooh-wee, because
Yeah.
know,
Lori.
I really feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I don't know. The moral to this story is, it's amazing because, and I know that when you do, just think about when you do come into when you're moved up to that upper echelon when it comes to money, multi-million. Wendy is a multi-millionaire. She doesn't have $9 or $8 million. She have millions in the bank. And I'm sure after this, she's probably gonna really be up there. No telling what she's gonna do and how she's gonna switch this up. But I can only imagine, because you got to really trust. You got to have some close people around. You got to have some close accountants, advisors, planners, unless the advisor does it all, plan it as well for you. You got to have, attorneys that you can trust. And they're all trying to, you're paying them all. Like, she has payroll, as y'all say, she has to pay. And I'm sure all of payroll consists of all her little entourage that's around her, to make sure that she's making the right decisions when it comes to investment. And you have to think about that. So it's like she trusted Laura. She trusted her. She trusted that lady. She trusts Laura at one point to handle her financial affairs. And now look at what. Can you imagine? What you truly trust someone, because you have to truly trust someone to have them. So I guess she was power of attorney over her financial affairs, or
she was her financial advisor.
She had the legal say, and in her financial. And
somebody should have been watching her, and somebody should have been watching the person that's watching her. All of them need to be watched.
Cycle. It's really sad. Get your mama or your kids to handle your affairs. Put it away. Moving on.
Yes, y'all. Time to move on.
Bad. That's really bad. Ooh, now here's another story. I'll tell you the truth. I really want to hear what y'all got to say about this one. Kierra Sheard. She talked about when her good friend, was it her best friends or good friends? When her friends come and visit, they get in a hotel, honey. They are not staying at the house and being around her husband. They will be getting a room at the Motel 6. No, I'm just playing. But they will be staying at the hotel. And I'm sure she's probably going to put them up at the hotel or whatever, because they're all good friends. But she said, no, it was her mama that taught her. Her mother told her, no. You just can never trust everybody around your mate. There is some truth to that statement. However, we're talking about close, significant friends. We're not just talking about associates, acquaintances. Now, I'm going to get my say, and then I'm going to let y'all fight. I don't have a lot of close friends. I don't have a lot of close. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of acquaintances, a lot of associates, know a lot of people, but the friend title, don't have a lot of close friends. So my close friends, with all 3 of them on the show tonight, but I am not going to worry about Sirius K or Queen A being around my husband.
You ain't got to worry about me.
I'm not. Wait a minute. What did you guys say? I didn't hear you. What did you say, Don? Really?
I said you ain't got to worry about me. So you got to worry about that.
Okay. Anyway, I'm talking about. Well, nowadays you're right on.
That's why you ain't got to worry about me.
That's what I mean. But I'm honest. Y'all know I'm a very honest person, very truthful person. I am not, and I got a producer behind the scene. I am not going to worry about any of you being around the man of my life. I'm not going to worry. I 100%, I promise you. You don't want to have to deal with my wrath. You don't want to deal with God. So first of all, I'm just not going to worry about it. I trust my friends. I trust that you love me enough that you are my true, genuine friend. You would never cross me like that. And I'm being honest. That's how I see my close
Mhm.
friends. That's just the truth.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. If I know a husband and husband come and visit me, now husband might not stay at the house. I'm just gonna
Right.
be honest. And not that because she may come on and she's a husband, so she well may come on to him, but I don't want that spirit just lingering in my house.
It goes to show what type of friends she may have, or even like, like maybe she experienced something in the past, or maybe her husband's a certain way, so she doesn't want certain people around that. But I'm gonna tell a quick story. You always want, I always have I have some experiences, y'all. So I've learned to put boundaries, but it's like I trust certain friends, but also I've been betrayed a lot in the past, so I've learned boundaries now, like placing boundaries. But I remember I had a friend years ago, and I was dating. It wasn't serious, but this guy and I, we just met. We started talking and everything, and I had my friend with me, and we went back to my apartment, and we were, just having a good time, drinking, having fun, whatever. And I said, I'll be back, y'all, because we ran out of some stuff. I said, I'll be back. I'm going to, and that was stupid for me to leave them in the house. And I said, I'll be back. I came back and I felt the need. I didn't go to the store yet, but I felt the need to come back. Like I just waited a little bit, and then I felt the need to come back. And I was like, I kind of felt something. So I said, let me just go back. Went back in my apartment down this part of Far Rockaway. Went back to my apartment, and I'm hearing some noise. I'm like, wait a minute. So I opened my bedroom door, and y'all, they were getting it in.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So yeah, so it happened to me about 2 or 3 times so I I understand when when you don't want your people around, but like say Serious K, Coach Shalonda, like as women, I trust y'all, of course, because I know, we vibe together. I know what type of woman you are, but I guess at the time I should have known this person how she was, but I would not have thought she would have done something like that. So, but she probably, she was saying she felt like we weren't serious because we just kind of met, but still in all, like you don't do that. And in my bed too.
Oh my God. You know what? And that's what she spoke about, boundaries, and because I think the lady was asking her about, our parents, our mothers have taught us life lessons and gave us good advice and wisdom. And she said, what about friends, coming to your house or whatever? And she said, yeah, my mom, taught me that too. Don't let your friends come stay with you. She was like, well, you have to have a discernment of what type of friends that you have, that you will let stay at your house. She said, because, certain energies and certain spirits you don't want in your house.
Yeah.
So she said, those people, you go stay at a hotel or whatever. And I get that, because you do kind of, how to weed out. And those are the people that you just don't call friends anyway.
Yeah.
And now my mama taught me that too. You just don't let anybody in your house. There could be man, woman, boy, girl, child, whoever. Certain people, certain energies you don't let in your house.
Yes.
And I have a story, girl. Let me tell you. It's not a personal story, but I remember when I was younger, my kids were small, and I had a friend, her kids were small, and I rode with her to go pick up her kids from her sister's house. So her sister was married, okay? So we pull up, and her sister's best friend come to the door, and she got on a T-shirt with some underwear. She probably was like you was that day, Queen Nature.
Okay, really, Kim? Really?
So she came to the door like that, and I was like, girl, wait a minute. Where's your sister? Girl, that's her best friend, and she's staying with them. So her best friend is at the door with her T-shirt and panties on. She's living with her best friend and her husband. That's very inappropriate. Inappropriate. So, it's like I would, if like you said, Coach Shalonda, if you let me come stay with you and you have a husband, I know, okay, I need to put clothes on at all times. Don't walk around the house a certain
Absolutely.
way. You know, I don't care if your husband is there or not. First of all, that's his house. He got to keep, I don't know when he's going to walk in.
Exactly.
Or you may come in and think that I'm, you know, up to something.
Exactly.
You know, that can go all kinds of ways. So I thought that was very inappropriate. And then now that left a bad taste in my mouth. Me being young back then, I was thinking to myself, I'm never gonna let my friends come stay with me. So when people give you advice, you need to know exactly where they're coming from as well. Because sometimes they come from a place of hurt or experience, and then they'll put that off on you. So you have to realize and figure out where is she coming from with this? Why is she giving me this type of advice? Oh, because she had that experience before.
Yes.
So, yeah, I get it.
Well, then listen. All three of you said one word. You kept saying friend.
Yeah.
Now, how do you define friend? Now, me personally, when you're younger, your parents take you down south, you go stay with your family and whatever. Once I was old enough and got a couple of dollars in my pocket, I said I would never stay with no family, and I never do. I don't care if they invite me or whatever. I'm going to the hotel. I'm just not comfortable being in someone else's space.
Right.
That's one. Now, like Kaneen said about the spirits and different things, you don't know who's coming in your house.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you can't just have anybody around because you don't know what they up to.
Right.
And like I said, not everybody is your friend, and whoever is your friend is that friend. What I consider a friend is somebody who will lay it on the line for me.
Yes.
Right.
That's a friend.
That's true.
You know, like I know a friend of mine from back in the days when I was doing what I was doing. It was three of us. One of them got locked up. And we always said if anybody got locked up, we would take care of the family. So we would always send a guy over to make sure that, his family had what they needed. So we had to tell them you can't go there by yourself because we don't need nobody thinking that you're going over there to mess with his wife. You take somebody with you at all times.
That's right.
Yep.
You don't do that.
That's right.
So the moral to this story, know who you're dealing with. Everybody.
And listen to Houdini, their record friends. How many of us have them?
Exactly. Because you do know and we're old enough to know. Now I can understand she's kind of young. Isn't Kiara? She's like early 30s.
Yeah.
I think
But if it's her friends anyway, they got money. So they should be at a hotel. What they doing laying on her bill?
Remember Portia, right? Remember what happened when she said that she wasn't real friends with her, but the fact that see what happened, you invited somebody into your home and
and now they with
Yeah.
So hello.
You gotta be careful who you invite in your home. But to be honest with me, like the person that I am, like if I'm going to a friend's house and they marry, I would not even want to stay. Me personally, I would probably go to a hotel. Unless like I'm friends with him and it's a good connection. But other than that, I'm the type of person I am. I would go to a hotel and like you said, Donald, I want to be in my own space. I want them to have their own space. I don't want to be next to the bedroom and I'm hearing something. I'm listening like wait.
Well, listen. You walk around naked. You can't be up at 2 a.m. going to get orange juice.
I do that in my own home.
Say that down the realist. Say it again.
Yeah, she up 2 a.m. going to get orange juice. Yeah, and I'm sleepwalking.
Yeah.
This is slip. I'm like, I slip.
Y'all are crazy.
Lord.
Well, moving on from that story, y'all, let's get into some juicy heart, mind, and voice topics. So the first one we're going to start off with is your history versus your destiny. This is a very interesting topic tonight. What was is not necessarily what's now, or still is, or is it? Think about that. What was is not necessarily what's now, or still is, or is it? Your history versus your destiny. We talked about Black history a little bit earlier in the show. I'm looking all down, Mortimers, but earlier in the show, and our destiny. I would personally say our history has a lot. It definitely has an impact on our destiny.
Yes.
Do we stay in the past? Absolutely not. Excuse me. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Does it affect our future? Absolutely, it does. But it doesn't. The thing about and the glorious thing about history, it doesn't put a stamp on this is what it's gonna be. This is what it doesn't. You can make it. Knowing your past allows you, the space. It allows you that space to create a better future. Because we all have a past, and we come from a past, a dynamic past, and we know our history. We may not know every single detail, but at our age, I'm talking about us in particular, us
Right.
specifically, we know some, key details about our history. So let's just really delve off into this conversation tonight, y'all. We're gonna let Serious K start this one off. Go ahead, Serious K. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, when I think about history versus destiny, it goes so many different ways. I think about how how people kind of put you in a box,
Yep.
and they base you, they judge you from your past, things you did in your past.
Yeah.
Sometimes they even judge you from like the history of your father or your mother, and they put you in that box. And no matter how successful you become or how much you change your life or whatever, when they think of you, they still look at you as that person, like as that, for instance, like as that person that used to be a thug, a drug dealer, or maybe, my parents were on the system, we were on the system. So they look at you as that person still, even 30, 40 years later. So
Mhm.
people will hold you prisoner to that.
Mhm.
And that's kind of and that's kind of hard to come out of. You find yourself constantly trying to prove yourself and show yourself to be different and things like that, but people still, it doesn't matter, people are still going to look at you like that. I saw a meme on Facebook and it was so funny. It said something to the aspect as what did it say, people see you doing good, but then they still
Mhm.
want to bring up what you did in 1992.
Yep. Yep.
So,
True.
but so anyway, just because my dad was a whoremonger doesn't mean I'm gonna be a whoremonger, or my mother, she lived out the system doesn't mean that I'm gonna live out. And some people, they attach that to themselves. They believe that too. This is who I am. This is who my family was. This is who I'm gonna be. So to
Mhm.
that I say, that's why we have to surround ourselves around successful people, like-minded people, positive thinking people, and those people like that. We got to get those people out of our lives because sometimes they don't grow. So we're growing and we're here and they're still there, and they thinking that we still in high school. We're not in high school no more. We're not
Right.
thinking on that level no more. I've outgrown you. I'm here. So my history does not define me. you know
Yes.
of course, there are some traits that my ancestors had that I pick up, and that I took with me as far as my strength and my resilience, my ambition, and things like that. Yes, we thank God for that. We take that and we move that into our destiny. But all that other stuff, we leave that behind. And so to that I say, stop judging people and holding them captive to their past and the actions of their past. People do change. They genuinely change. They're
Right.
not that same person. So don't hold them to that. And again, your history is not your destiny. Know that you can be a better person, that you don't
Yes.
have to be that person. You don't have to stay in the hood. You don't have to. You can move out of the hood. There's so much more to you. All you have to do is get out there and get it. There's resources out there. All you have to do is just get out there, get it, ask questions. You can move out of that.
That's right. Woo! Say the word. Hey, Don the realist. Come on, let us have it.
Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Nah, your history is your history.
Right.
That's why if you ever think about this when you're driving, right? Why the windshield is so big and the rearview mirror is so small. It is so small, so when you look back, you see something small that you don't want to go back to. Your windshield is huge because your future is much brighter where you're going.
Yes.
So now, me coming from where I came from,
Right.
the streets, and once my partner got saved because he got saved first. He had no choice because his wife's father and grandfather, the whole family were preachers.
Mhm.
So they had us all messed up in the head. He got saved and left me. I started going to church. I got saved. The first thing these knuckleheads said was the only reason we were in church is because we were hiding our money in the church. That's what they said. Because they couldn't believe that we were in the church.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day.
Oh, yeah.
What you make of those 24 hours is
It's on
your
you.
business. Now,
That's-
if you
yeah.
choose to sleep 16 hours and I choose to work 16 hours, don't get mad at me. If my family grew up in the projects and I made up in my mind I don't want to be in the projects, not saying there's anything wrong with that,
Right.
because a lot of people are in the projects not because they have to be there, it's because they don't have the financial means just to get out.
Mhm.
So that's a problem right there. That's something else. That's another topic, another show.
Right.
But if you want to be successful in life,
Mhm.
Kim can't be successful with her salon if her competition is opening up at 9 and she's opening up at 11.
Right.
Right.
I cannot be the first African American in my job in the 100-year anniversary, which is coming this year. I'm the first African American instructor where I work at, and I've been there 32 years.
Mhm.
So I couldn't get where I was going if I didn't get up 2 hours before anybody else.
Right.
Only thing come to a man in his sleep is a dream. That's it. You got to be up on the ground and running so you don't repeat history.
Right.
Like you mentioned earlier about the 2 black doctors. A lot of great people came before us. There's a lot of people that we don't know about because they don't teach us that in school.
Right.
So what you got to do is pick up a book and learn about them.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that there was a black lady that invented the GPS.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I knew that.
All right.
about
So
Mhm.
what we could do with history, because a
Yeah.
lot of people fought for us, Dr. King, Malcolm X, and all of those great people that came before us, so we can have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Now, we hear biblically preachers preach about it, about, sitting down at the table. That's all well and good. No, stop using racism so I can't get the loan, so I can't open a company to build my own table. I don't want to sit at your table. I want to make my own table.
Mhm.
Tyler Perry said that. He said, let me make my own table. It's
Yeah.
nice you're going to pull out a chair for me, but as soon as I go to the restroom, you're going to talk about me. So
Yeah.
no, let me make my own table. Let me sit there. So now 20, 30 years from now, when somebody else is doing this show like y'all, they can say the ladies from the Heart, Mind, and Voice show, they created this platform. This is why we on a national network now, because somebody else did it before y'all.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
history is history. It's good to learn from it, but it's also good. History teaches us that we got to be better.
Yeah.
We got to be better than yesterday. So
Yeah.
what we did today, we can't do tomorrow.
Yeah. That's right.
And that's it.
You better say that. Queen A, what's your thoughts on it?
First, I want to acknowledge Nikki and Shaheed. I love y'all, miss y'all. I can't wait to have y'all back on the show. But so I want to say, like, a lot of us, what we don't realize is that we are a victim of our past, a victim of our history. And it's like, if you don't know who you are today, you stay victimized from your past, and you stay in a story of this person done me wrong. I don't like, my parents did this, my parents did that, or this person did this. It's like you stay, it's like when I talk to certain people and I hear their stories, it's like staying in the past. It's like you said, Donna, it's meant for you to learn from the past and not to remain in it. Like, it's then you got to think about also when you're destined, you got to know who you are. You got to know your identity, because it's separate. You know, your identity, it separates you from your history, because you know what you're destined to become. You know your destiny. And it's like, when you're on your journey to becoming, whoever you want to become, you're always going to have people that's going to come back from your past, come back from, like family, friends, whoever. They want to say, remember when you used to be like this? Remember when? And it's like, you also got to pay attention. I'm trying to wrap it up really quick because I know we're going to be departing soon. But, it's like when you have people that come back, it's like, it's saying you're destined to become something. You're working towards something, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a new career, a business venture, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden you have there's something else from the past that's trying to show up, right? You ever notice like every time you're on the right track, somebody from the past shows up, or either somebody from the, something reminds you of your past. Like it may be an insecurity, like, you know what, you can't do this. It's always something to remind you. It's like, they always say this, when you grow into levels, you always assign the devil. So it's like that devil in you is that, that thought that keeps saying, I can't do this. I'm not good enough for this or whatever. But I want to say really quick, so I love this because this guy, I forgot the guy's name, but he talked about like progress on purpose, right? And he said, when you are moving towards your destiny, he was like, you always need to know the 3 people you need in your life, the roles you need to fill. Discerning when to let people go. That's a big thing. A lot of us are like that. The importance of choosing the right friends, because it's like when you grow levels, you're not going to be able to stay at the same consciousness and the level of the people you were in the past, because now you're a new person. And also surrounding yourself with people of like minds, So it's like, for instance, it's like a lot of us, some of us, we may want to stay connected to the past, or stay connected to, somebody that's familiar because it's comfortable. But you cannot be comfortable when you're destined to become something. When you're living, when you're living on purpose, you're progressing in life towards your purpose. It's important to identify, okay, am I staying in the history? And then one last thing, when you think about this in relationships, right? Because you may be in a relationship and that person may be, it could be a friendship, it could be a personal relationship, whatever. And that person keep reminding you of what you've done in the past. That shows that person lived in the past, but you're trying to progress forward. So how can you progress forward when that person or whoever it may be is reminding you of what has occurred in the past? I remember somebody I was talking to, and all our conversation was, I remember when we were like this. I remember we did this. And I'm like, and then it came to me like, oh, this person is no longer part of my future. This person in the past, and I had to disconnect because the conversation was, I remember this, I remember that. It was nothing future-based, nothing to talk about how to progress forward. So it's important to identify, what's your history, and take that and learn from it so you can begin to, live out your purpose, live out your destiny. Because a lot of us are destined to become great, but you got to identify who you are and what you want to become. Once you identify it, you're no longer going to attract certain type of people. You may attract people just to kind of test you, but you're not going to, keep attracting people from your past, people from your history, or situations from your past or your history.
Absolutely. You all made excellent points. This has been an awesome show tonight. I hope we've inspired, enlightened, uplifted someone in our audience tonight. We're so glad that you guys tuned in with us and comments, some shared some thoughts and laughter and encouragement. Definitely be sure to join our Patreon. We're going to continue these conversations in depth on Patreon, and the link is in the comments.
Yes.
So please join our Patreon.
Before you go, let's get a teaser of what we're going to discuss on Patreon. So this teaser is we're going to get more in depth in terms of like history, destiny, how to discover your purpose, but also we're going to discuss some things when it comes to relationship, right? Because we got some juicy stuff going on when it comes to relationships. And I don't know if y'all ever heard of this, so I want to ask really quick if y'all heard of this. What is it? E&M when it comes to dating. E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary. So it's ethical non-monogamy. So if y'all heard about that, listen, we want to discuss it. So
8:35 Central, 9:35 Eastern.
8:35
and join
Central.
And be a part, because we want, and this is where we're going to get into the raw conversations, going to be deep conversation. You can get to come and say whatever you like. It's no hold bars on this show, y'all. So join Patreon.
All right, you guys, we love you. We will continue this great chat. Don the Realist, did you have anything to add? He's sitting over there looking, you ready for it? Ready for it?
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I do just got one thing.
Go ahead.
Sometimes we have to let people from our past to see how we're doing. So maybe we can encourage them to do better.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We can't, we want to leave the hood, but every once in a while we got to go back because somebody want to leave also. And they might, and we got to extend that hand to them to show them, like Kim could show them how to get that beauty salon, you know,
Yeah.
and things like that. So not everybody want to stay there. They just need somebody to come show them how to get out. That's all.
Take them by their hand.
Yeah, just reach out to them. If they don't reach back, hey, you did your part.
That's right.
Because it's sad when I left and I still go through and I see guys my age still doing the same thing. It's heartbroken. You know, it's just it doesn't look right. You know.
Yeah.
So,
You're
Are you joining us on the after show?
yes.
All right.
But y'all know it's gonna be no.
Well, let's go then, y'all.
All right, y'all. When we gonna see you? Oh, we gonna see you. I think
It's gonna be a shit show. That's what she want to say.
Okay.
bye, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
See you next week.